We have Senator Ted Cruz here now. So you're a senator. You're looking at this. A lot of action in the White House. People have never seen this before. How have you digested it?
Well, listen, I think we have reason to be cautiously optimistic. I believe we have seen more progress to peace in the last few weeks than we have in the last several years. And it really is a sharp dichotomy. It illustrates the difference between a strong commander-in-chief and a weak commander-in-chief. The reason we have a war in Ukraine is because Joe Biden was so unbelievably weak as president of the United States because of his disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan that encouraged Putin and every other aggressor on the face of the planet. And you put on top of that Joe Biden waived the sanctions on Nord Stream 2 and gave a multi-billion-dollar gift to Russia. That caused the war in Ukraine. We are seeing the prospect of peace because Donald Trump is a strong commander-in-chief, because Putin and all of our enemies are afraid of the president of the United States. That is a good thing. I believe the war in Ukraine will be over by the end of this year. Donald Trump campaigned on ending the war on Ukraine. I think the American people are done with cutting a blank check for this war. It has gone on for long enough. I think we will see a negotiated peace. And what I have encouraged President Trump to do is to resolve it in a way that is a clear and discernible loss for Russia and Putin. Russia is not our friend. Putin is not our friend. And in particular, when it comes to energy, I think the resolution of this war needs to be Ukraine and Europe relying on American energy, signing agreements to bring in American energy and not buying oil and gas from Russia. That would be a major America First victory. I'm hopeful that's where these negotiations will end up.
That would be a brilliant strategy. And it looks like the EU trade deal was the beginning of it. So hopefully that continues.
Yep.
When the president buzzes Vlad with the B-2s, and his legs start shaking like he's doing the Macarena. And the Democrats see that and say that Trump is weak and he's soft and he's getting bullied by Vladimir Putin. I mean, your colleagues must be like drinking something. What is going on there?
You know, Jesse, people used to say politics end at the water's edge. Unfortunately, today's Democrats, they hate Donald Trump so much that they are openly rooting for the president to fail. They're openly rooting for this war to continue forever. They don't want peace, and that is sad. We should all want peace in Ukraine. I believe we're going to see that, and I think President Trump is doing everything humanly possible to achieve that peace. And not a single Democrat is cheering him on. They're all rooting for America to fail. That's really sad.
Well, it'll be interesting if he gets the Nobel Peace Prize. Will they clap or will they sit on their hands like a State of the Union? We'll see how it goes down.
They will sit on their hands and they will boo.
All right, Senator Ted Cruz, good to talk to you.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.